it's NiarAh and I'm back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about what courses I took as a pre-nursing student. So let's get into it. So as a pre-nursing student, I took these specific courses to get into my dream school. I applied to about 6 different schools, so my core 7 kind of fluctuated based off of what schools I was applying to, and that's extremely important because the pre-nursing courses that you take are the courses that you need to get into your specific program. So if you haven't seen my video already called So You Want to Be a Nurse, please go watch it. It talks about the core 7 and how, you can get into nursing school. So let's get started. So the courses that I took were anatomy and phys with a lab. So depending on your school, it's going to be called Human Anatomy Part 1 and Human Anatomy Part 2, or it could be called Anatomy and then another section could be Physiology. So but it's important that you have a lab for both. So depending on your school, they will specify if they want you to have a lab. Some schools say they want anatomy and physiology to be done at the same school, some don't. So just make sure you always read the fine print because you don't want to be spending unnecessary money. And we pre-nursing students know that if you don't have nursing at your school and you have to take these courses to get into a nursing program outside of your school or after you graduate, that it gets pretty pricey if you're not able to take these courses within your regular tuition. So make sure you're reading the fine print. The next course that I took was Human Growth and Development, and I absolutely love this course. At Spelman, it was called Developmental Psych, and I love just learning about how you grow and how different things affect your psyche. And it was just such an amazing course. I had a wonderful professor. We also had a service component for that class. I don't know if that's across the board something that you have to do for every human growth and development class, but it's just something to know. And I love service anyway, so I just had so much fun doing that. The next class we have is Microbiology. I already filmed a video about how to pass Microbiology. Microbiology was literally my favorite prereq, and it was just so much fun to learn about germs. We grew mold in lab, which was super fun, and seeing being able to have unknowns and guessing what it is based on different tests. I absolutely love that. And so I feel microbiology is probably one of the easiest prereqs just because it's simply memorization. And it's memorizing bacteria and what causes diseases, which is just so much fun. And that's really where I felt I was getting into the nursing field. When I took anatomy and phys, I thought, okay, this is me getting into my field, and I really enjoy it, but I did not enjoy anatomy and phys. I only enjoyed the reproductive unit just because I want to go into reproductive and sexual health, but it just was not. And so I think that if you didn't have a great time in anatomy and phys, I think you'll love microbiology just because it's so much fun. We did news reports, which was super fun, and we got to research different bacterias. I love that course, and I don't want to say it was easy, but it was fun, and it made me want to study. The next course is nutrition, and that's an easy A. I definitely recommend taking nutrition online just because it's so easy, and you can balance it with your other prerequisites, or you can balance it with your other major work. So for my non-traditional nursing students, definitely take nutrition online during your regular academic year if that's something you can afford. Shout out to Portage Learning because they have really affordable courses, and you can do it at your own pace. You have a year to finish it. So let's say you're taking classes 2 days a week, and you decide that you want to have classes from, so let's say you're taking classes 2 days a week. You have classes from 9 a.m. to, let's say, 3 p.m. and you have 3 extra days to kind of just relax. Use one of your extra days to take a course like nutrition because it's not as heavy as anatomy and phys, and it's more of a lighter course load for that class. So I would definitely recommend taking nutrition. during like your academic year if you're a non-traditional student. So the next course that I have was statistics, and statistics wasn't bad. I ended up getting a B in statistics, and I wish I would have known how like my professor worked, just because like the study guides that he posted online that were like 90 questions long, he literally used the same exact questions on the exams, and I was just like, I don't feel like reading through all of these, but I should have done it. And once I started catching up to like what he was doing, and you know, like really studying in groups, and they were telling me like, you know, this is what this professor does, I was able to, you know, perform much better and end with a B+, but I really could have gotten an A if I was on jump from beginning. But that's why it's always important to like study in groups after you studied by yourself, because you learn like tips and tricks from other people. And if like I didn't have people who were being sisterly, like I literally would have never known that half of the test is on the study guide, which is like, you know, common sense, you know, but professor study guides aren't the best, you know, so I mean, you live and you learn, but you know. And all the courses that I mentioned before, you have to have at least a B- for the grade, and then overall you have to graduate with at least a 3.0 and, you know, actually obtain your bachelor's degree. So when we're thinking about applying to nursing school, the GPA fluctuates. So the lowest I've seen is like a 2.75, and the highest I've seen is like a 3.2. Some programs, if you're trying to go straight from like a BSN to a DNP, I've seen a 3.5, or if you're trying to go straight from like any bachelor's to a DNP, I've also seen a 3.5. It really just depends. And some schools allow you to have a lower GPA, but you will be required to take the GRE. For me, I knew that I was not taking the GRE, so I worked really hard to make sure my GPA was at least a 3.0, so I could, you know, make sure that I didn't have to take any testing to get into a school that I really wanted to get into. So if you have any questions or recommendations about videos that you want me to post, please comment below, and see you next time.